5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, we're back, and we want to discuss a growing concern in this country about bullying.
Although this is something that's been a part of our society for decades, it has taken on many new faces as social media extends its reach in a way that is, quite frankly, disturbing.
Today, we'd like to discuss the significance and dangers of bullying and the steps you can take to protect your kids.
And here to explore this topic with us is Anna Drew with the Ad Council Against Bullying.
Welcome, Anna. It's great to have you on the show with us today.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
Would you agree, Anna, that bullying has grown to epidemic proportions in today's country?
I would, John.
Why do you think that's so?
Well, in decades past, bullying was stereotypically a group of kids ganging up on one kid because they were different. But as society has changed, so has the face of bullying.
And what are some of the new faces that is being portrayed in today's society?
Well, in addition to physical bullying, there's emotional bullying. That's when a bully makes fun of someone's social status or physical appearance. Then there's verbal bullying. That's when kids threaten to do bodily harm to people or the people they care about if they don't do what the bully wants. There's also social bullying. That's when a bully campaigns to destroy someone's reputation through lies and rumors. But the most damaging is probably cyberbullying because of its visibility and reach.
What are some warning signs parents should look out for?
Well, if it's physical bullying, obviously, bruises, but most other bullying leaves marks we can't see. So you want to look for changes in behavior. For example, are they depressed? Maybe they have a loss of appetite, or are they suddenly missing a lot of school? Maybe they're disengaging from activities they normally love, or they're spending a lot of alone time in their room. These are just some warning signs, but if you know it's normal for your child, these are some pretty good indicators that something's wrong.
What can a parent do if they start to see a pattern developing?
Talk to them. Provide them with a safe space to open up and let them know it's not their fault.
And could you quickly share with our viewers where they can go for more information on bullying?
Absolutely. They can go to stopbullyingnow.org where they'll find a wealth of helpful information. If we can all do a little to stop this growing threat in our community, we can make a difference.
Folks, Anna is not only a representative for the Ad Council Against Bullying, she's also a very gifted singer. And we've asked her to leave us with her final thought through song.
She stood out in the crowd, was a little too loud, but that's why we love her. She's not like other girls, she could have conquered the world until you broke her down. Are you happy now that she's on the ground? And do you realize the words you say
We continue to look at the impact of bullying, and we are joined by a student from Erskine Academy who has a true but tragic story to tell.
Joining us on today's show is Mariah Cloutier, a senior from Erskine Academy and head of the Committee of Students Against Bullying. Welcome, Mariah.
Thanks, John. I'm so glad to be here today and talk to you on this very important subject.
Mariah, recently there was a very tragic incident that happened at your school.
Yes, there was, Alyssa.
Now, I know it might be difficult to talk about, but can you share with our viewers what happened?
Well, one of the students, Libby Monroe, took her own life to escape the constant taunting of bullies that plagued her.
When you say plagued, what exactly do you mean?
Libby was being bullied at school, but because of social media, even when she went home, she couldn't escape it. The kids would use Facebook and Twitter to spread their hate.
What you just said is very important. Even at home, she couldn't feel safe. Home is supposed to be a place where kids do feel safe.
Right, but because of the big role social media plays in our society, it seems that no matter where you go, you can't escape it.
Do you feel like kids are bolder to bully other kids online since they're not there to defend themselves?
Absolutely. And to say that kids shouldn't go on these sites, it's just not realistic. Communication through technology is just such a big part of the society that we've grown up in, and it's just not going to change. What we need to do is learn how to become more responsible with it.
Now, Libby's suicide affected your student body. How did it affect your student body?
I think they were all really shocked at first because you hear about these things on the news, but you never expect it to happen at your school.
What were your reactions when you found out?
I just thought I couldn't imagine how depressed and hopeless she must have felt to think that her only solution was to end her life.
Do you think this has brought around a change at your school?
I don't think bullies always consider the consequences of their bullying, and for that reason, change comes slow.
I understand you started your own support group as a way of trying to bring about change. How's that working?
Well, change does come slow, but I do believe we're making a difference. We've actually started a few support groups. The first one that we've started is called our Team Building Workshop, and this is where kids from diverse backgrounds come together and learn how to solve problems. And then another one that's really cool is our Conflict Resolution Workshop, where we teach kids not only to solve problems, but to solve them without the use of violence. And then our third most recent one is called our Open Forum Discussion, and this is a judgment-free zone where the kids can talk about their problems without feeling that they're going to be made fun of.
And what about cyberbullying?
That's the one area we're working on. It's a tough one because you can't control the actions of others, and you can only control yourself. But you need to practice what you preach, so don't post negatively about others. And if someone does decide to post negatively about you, don't give it attention. And by not feeding the fire will go out.
Sounds like you've got a great thing started.
Thanks. And if nothing else, I just hope that we've taught kids a sense of belonging, some coping skills, and just really raise the public's awareness on this very vital subject.
I understand you've written a song to honor Libby's memory. Would you like to share it with us?
It'd be my pleasure.
Wish I was dead. Who will care that she's breaking? Who will care where she's been? Everybody says that she's broken, but I think she's just bent. Oh, dare to be different. Who wrote the book on what is right? What makes me so wrong? And I know my time here will be well spent, 'cause I dare, yeah, I dare to be different. Just another day with the damage done. You never know how your words can cut someone. Look into their eyes, and maybe you will see that everyone is how they're meant to be. It's time for us to care that they're breaking. It's time for us to care where they've been. And you might say that they're broken, but I think we're all a little bent. Oh, dare to be different. Oh, dare to be different.
Good luck. I think we'll be hearing about you more in the future.
Thanks, John. Now, we're going to shift back to our segment on women in the workforce, but flash forward to the 80s.
Yes, this is when significant changes began to take place, and women started taking on roles traditionally held by men.
They also began attending college, earning degrees in law, science, business, and technology, making them more employable in a man's world.
But it wasn't until the 90s that we really see women rise in the workforce.
And today we are joined by Mary Barra of GM, the first woman to ever become a CEO of a major company.
I'm sorry, Mary Barrow had a congressional hearing today. She's not going to be available.
In her place, we seem to have Dory Austin. Welcome to our show, Dory.
Oh, well, thank you, John. I'm so happy to be here.
Tell me, Dory, how does it feel to be on the other side of an interview?
Well, I have to tell you, it's kind of weird. I think I liked it better when I was in that chair.
Yes, well, don't we all? So tell us, Dory, how was it that you broke into the world of broadcasting those many years ago?
Oh, John, it wasn't all those many years ago.
So I understand you started as a cub reporter.
Yes, I did, and no, I did not sleep my way to the top.
Of course you didn't. Could you tell us how you got the world of broadcasting to take you seriously in a man-dominated industry?
Well, when I first started out, I realized that in order for me to succeed, I was going to have to outscoop the competition. And since pretty much I was the only woman vying for the job, everyone was my competition.
So how'd you outscoop them?
Well, I paid attention and listened, made sure I was aware of any good stories that might be coming up. I developed a really good, strong network of sources and made sure that as often as possible, I was the first reporter on the scene at any breaking news. In short, I learned how to do the job better than anyone else. I worked really hard. I deserved that position.
Yes, you did, Dory. And you've covered some of the most important stories of our time. What would you say is your favorite story that you've covered in your distinguished career?
Oh, well, there are so very many. But I would say probably the Chilean mine disaster, for which I earned a Pulitzer.
Yes, you did, Dory. I have just one more question for you.
Oh, fire away.
What are your plans now that you've stepped away from broadcasting?
Stepped away?
Future plans. What are your future plans?
Oh, well, I have so many options. I've been considering the lecture circuit or possibly going into teaching. And, of course, there's always that tell-all book that I've been dying to write about my long career. John, are those beads of sweat I see forming on your forehead?
Oh, it does seem to be a little bit warm in here in the moment. So here's my final question. What is one thing you want to leave the viewing audience to know before we close this interview?
Are you sure you want me to answer that question, John?
Yeah, I think you've earned the last word here.
Well, okay then.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend. But I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one's ever gonna keep me there again. Oh, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom gonna pay. Yes, I'll pay the price, but look how much I've gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I'll come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you've deepened the conviction in my soul. Oh, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom gonna pay. Yes, I'll pay the price, but look how much I've gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. I am woman, watch me grow. See me standing toe to toe as I spread my loving arms across the land. But I'm still an embryo with a long, long way to go until I make my brothers understand. Oh, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom gonna pay. Yes, I'll pay the price, but look how much I've gained. If I have to, I can face anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. I am woman. I'm gonna write the tell-all. You're gonna be in it, and you're gonna be sorry.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
And we're back in 5.
John, what was that all about? What is going on? she got on you?
On me? What do you think?
She knows the offer, doesn't she? Is that what you gave her the last word?
It was a peace offering. Let's just hope it works.
Places, we're back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
On our final segment on women in the workforce, we decided to invite some middle school girls to the studio to find out what their career choices are. First, from Winslow Junior High, we have Jordan Claychie. Come on out, Jordan, and let's see what you've chosen as your career for this week. So I'm guessing from your outfit you're a baker?
You could guess that, but you'd be wrong.
Oh, all right then. What are you?
I'm a chocolatier. Sounds like musketeer, but with chocolate in front.
And what does a chocolatier do?
Well, I should think that would be obvious. We make the most mouth-watering, delectably sinful chocolate pleasures you have ever tasted. Want to try one?
Oh, yes, I would. These are amazing. Tell me, do you plan to open a shop?
Yes, in fact, I plan to have a franchise in every major city in the country. I'm going to call my company YOLO Chocolates. Die happy.
Wow. Sounds like you've got it all figured out. What's your inspiration for doing this?
When I was a little girl, I fell in love with the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and my favorite song was The Candyman.
You can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. The Candyman, the Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. You can take a rainbow, wrap it in a slime, soak it in the sun and make a strawberry lemon pie. The Candyman, the Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candyman makes everything he makes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. You can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow and collect up all the cream. The Candyman, the Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candyman makes everything he makes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow and collect up all the cream. The Candyman, the Candyman can, the Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste